welcome back everybody. I thought it was high time we get into the game room that I was able to create since my daughter moved into a bigger room now that she's grown up. And I captured this room back from her that we used to have before she was born. And there's her sign from when she was living in there. And I've added these other couple of little pins, signs up there. And I think that's still appropriate, at least as far as I'm concerned for now. So let's take a peek and see what it looks like in here. So this is about a 10 by 10 room, and I have modified it a little bit. This room is in a state of constant flux because I'm trying to just make it more and more like a game room, but some things are left over here and they seem to work out. So let's start off with across the ceiling here. Oh, let's turn the light on. Can I get that light on? There we go. That's gonna help. So starting up on the ceiling, you get these metal bars that are up there, which used to be for some vertical shelving. And I took all the stuff that was in here. That was in here when we moved in way back. I took those and I screwed them into the top of the ceiling by the molding, and I used it to hang all my Amiibos now because they're really hard to display, and a lot of times the room up at the top is just wasted. So I think this came out really nice, and it looks good when you're in here. And I don't know if I can capture that by doing this, but I'm really pleased how that came out. And the bars I had, look, they ended up fitting perfectly. I didn't have to cut them. They fit perfectly right to the edge, and then all the way to that edge, which is just amazing that these are the bars I had. But let's go over here to this little rack here, and this is just a media rack. And in here I've got Master System games. And I've got NES games. So I just kicked this. Oh, might as well look at this too. So I've got this to build too, this Lego set, and I got the Mario figure from that, so that it'll work with it. If you put it on top of the TV, it'll play the music. But that's going to be quite a build. My wife builds lots of Lego Harry Potter stuff, and we should start showing more of that because some of those are just amazing. So that's it. That's my NES games essentially, and Master System games. And then this rack here came from my mother. They just picked this up somewhere along the way. I think it was for golf balls or some sort of display, because there's a little nook in there, a little wedge that you put stuff in, and I think she was told it was for golf stuff, and you put stuff in the back and then put the golf balls in those little spots. But it fits DS games and 3DS games really well. I can stack them vertically or horizontally in there. So I've put the DS games horizontal and the 3DS vertically, so they separate just a little bit. And then I got a couple of TurboGrafx up here, and I've got this some other Hue cards in here. That's just from a Wrigley's gum container, and I just use it to store that. And then a few of them are stored in these little cassettes where you can print up cases for them, which is kind of nice. And then there's a few loose. And up here I've just got some loose, take this right down, some loose games for Game Boy Advance. Some of them came with a Game Boy Advance that my brother found. He works for apartment complexes, and people throw stuff out in the dumpsters all the time. He actually got a Pac-Man machine, a whole Pac-Man machine once, and all it needed was a fuse. But he found some Game Boy Colors and Game Boy Advance, and he just salvaged everything and brought them to me, which I didn't have those models before, so that was great. There's some kids games in there, but I kept them anyway. So then moving on here, I got a lot of space to fill up on the walls, but that corkboard was already in her room, so I've left that. I put this poster up just to fill up some space. It's kind of wrinkly because it's humid. It's summertime. We get a lot of humidity in Maine. And this corkboard, I've just been filling it up with little bits of whatever I find, stuff. Nothing special. Just throwing stuff up there. That's exactly what corkboards do. They just collect crazy random things. So that's what I'm doing with that. Oh, And then I got this love seat. This is matches our couch, but I took it out of the living room. I mean, this thing was a real treat. I don't know if you can see how big that is, and see how big the door is, and how big that is. You know, it was real fun getting in here. I did it all alone. The other thing is too is we've got this little angled hallway right here. You can see it's like, yeah, that was a heck of a day. But it's in here and it's staying in here forever because I'm done. This is going to be the little game room. Got some blankets because usually we come in here in the winter. I haven't been in here much this summer, and I'm just moving things around. All the remotes I need in here because I got so many game systems and TVs right now. We got, oh, let's go up here. This was a TV stand that I had bought to put in her room, even though she wasn't using it for a TV stand. She had a queen-size bed, and as you can imagine, that takes up most of the floor space, so she needed some space just for little knickknacks and stuff she had collected. So that's what this was storing. You can see it's designed for a flat panel up top, and then DVD, Blu-rays and stuff, players in there, maybe a stereo system, and then on the bottom was just for movies and stuff. But I've stored video games up here. I had more up there at one time. These were all up there. I've got a setup in the garage right now to play Atari, so that's where all these were recently, and I just got to put them back in here. But I want to change that. I want to find some better storage for these cartridges because I'd rather use these little levels for displaying things eventually, other game systems I have. But you can see it just stores some things in there really nice. Up top, as a display case, it seems even better because you can see this looks nice just having these up here. And at the end is a Coleco Gemini, which is an Atari 2600. Essentially, they just have a rip-off of it that they had put out. Everyone was doing that kind of stuff back then and suing each other. So as we move down, I just took some of her cube storage that she didn't want anymore and took the little cubes out and put books all in here. So I've got books on pretty much the computer industry, Apple, Microsoft, Xerox, all those players that back in the day. Fire in the Valley is really great about Silicon Valley. And you can see I've got, oh, that's for phone phreaking. That's a great, Exploding the Phone is a great book. Some books on code and stuff like that. And then, kind of snug, I'm going to move some stuff over here. Down below here, I've got my comic collections. So I've got Garfield, which was good for the first, 7 or 8 years. And Calvin and Hobbes, which are fantastic. Far Side, hilarious stuff. Let me sneak under here a bit. Got some Batman graphic novels, Simpsons episode guide. I had a smaller one there, and then they put out this giant one for seasons 1 through 20, so I picked it up, even though I don't really like Beyond season 9 or 10 too much. And then we've got Bloom County, my favorite comic strip ever. Goes back and forth between Calvin and Hobbes, depending on how mature you're feeling that day. If you're feeling like a kid, go with Calvin and Hobbes. If you're feeling, like you're beat down by the world, go with Bloom County. Got some, let me get that cable out of the way there. Got some guides on just all the video games that came out. Brett Weiss does some good books. And some about Nintendo, the history of Nintendo. Game Over is a pretty good read. And then, let me move over here. The Guide to Classic Graphic Adventures, point and click stuff, Ultimate History of Video Games. Some really good books. I think some of these were out of print when I bought them. Got them for a pretty good deal considering, but now they're back. Some of them are back in print, so they're worth getting. They've probably been updated. Got a few boxed games, nothing major here, but I do like the Lucas Archive point and click games and stuff, and those have some of the Star Wars games in there too, so that's nice. And up here I've got R.O.B the robot. Got some extra controllers, an extra copy of Zelda. Got a Nintendo case. Let's see, Fourscore. Got the original gray zapper, not the orange one. Got some Amiibo storage up here for my loose ones. And I don't have much in here. but you can see this just kind of holds games in there safely. They snap in place, they won't come out. But it's a nice little case. It just, you know, fits along with whatever I got up here. You can see the mouse under there, the mouse pad for the NES. I mean the SNES. And then, oh, I got a TV tray just to throw all kinds of crap on, you know, drinks, food, whatever. We've got Wii games. I've got Wii U games downstairs. Maybe I'll show a quick clip of that right here. Hey guys, so this is the basement. You've probably seen maybe this in a video with the TV down here or something, but I'm trying to convert this more to a room for my wife, because now that the family is growing up, we don't come down here and watch movies like we used to, and it's not the same as the game room as it used to be. It was more of a big family room down here. So she really likes Harry Potter, so I'm starting to put up more stuff for her. She's done some great puzzles here, and we're framing them and putting more and more stuff up on the walls. And I've got a lot of CDs down here that I've collected, and like I said, I like using these top areas where nothing's ever put in rooms. So we got just stuff hanging everywhere down here. It's a bit of a wreck, but there's Echo the cat. Hey, what's up? This is like the best cat in the world, or maybe third best, because there's got to be a couple of cats better than her, but pretty good cat, huh? She's a cutie. Very, very, very pleasant demeanor too. But I've moved all my games out, and now we've just got like the kids' movies down here, and some Christmas stuff. I moved in the all the music DVDs and stuff, VHS we have. You can see she's got a basket full of exercise equipment. She still will use the Wii Fit on the Wii U. I've got a Wii U up here. I've got a Switch so we can play games down here still on Wii U or Switch. Then I've taken out, she used to have all these in storage, but I took out all the Disney movies she had and just put them along this little shelf up here. So again, trying to get more stuff in here that's hers. Here's some of the Wii U collection I have, and just different characters and stuff, and all kinds of stuff that I've eventually got to try and get up into that little room, if I can cram it up in there. There's her exercise stuff, but you can see everything's kind of a mess right now. It's in just a state of flux. But I'm gonna keep these down here all the time because I still have my stereo, but I framed some records, and they look. You ever take an old record and put it in a frame? It looks beautiful. So usually these frames cost more than the records. You know, $1 for a frame to $3 sometimes, and then the records are usually 99 cents. You go to the right place and you can get records for cheap. Even if the record doesn't work anymore and you like the art, you might as well throw it in a frame because it just looks gorgeous. So that's about it. This room is, again, constantly changing. There's just little bits of stuff here and there, and you can see I got my old PC out right now, and the old stereo still down here, and my record player. And that's down here mostly because you can stomp on this floor because it's concrete. We're in the basement, and the records never skip. So, but this is going to change more and more to a room for her, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get more of this stuff up in that little room upstairs. So back to the tour. Okay, so back to these. I got Wii. You know, we had kids, so a lot of kids games in there, which are still pretty fun. And Gamecube. The Gamecube was mostly for me when I got those games. Few the kid games in there too. And then we've got the Nintendo Game Plan poster. So the original, not the action set. What was the other set? The one I got, I can't remember it, but not the action set. It's the one that has R.O.B the robot. It had Gyromite. It had you know, the gun and everything, plus the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt cartridge. And this is the poster that came with it, which is great looking. I love this poster. I have almost all these games. Like a few of the black label ones I still don't have, but you know, I'm not too crazy about all of them, like Mach Rider and stuff, but that's okay. I'll get them someday. Then I got some mini games up here on this bookshelf, and I only got a few of these because you can go too far with them, and you know, they're just fun for a little bit, but they're not really good to play like the real arcade game or playing it on an emulator or something. So they're just cute to have. A couple of pinball LCD ones. This one has a mirror in there that reflects back at you, so it's similar to playing kind of like in a way like playing the original Space Invaders, where they used to have it, the monitor down in the cabinet, and it reflected back at you. Then I have some of the minis. I got the NES mini out in the living room right now. A couple of just glasses and mugs. Anyone been to Fun Spot in New Hampshire? Last time I went, it was still great, but that was several years ago. I don't know if the pandemic's really caused them any hardship, but... And then this is a Pac-Man mug we got winning at Skeet Ball back in Funtown, USA, in Maine. You can see how much the color's faded from what's behind and what's in front from going through the dishwasher, but I still like this mug to have around. Got a little bitty R.O.B there. Oh, below this, Nintendo Powers. Got Nintendo Power 1 through 250, and I'd probably have all of them if I went to throwing away so many, because when I decided to start collecting these, I had at least the last decade of them, but you know, they're just cluttering up stuff, and I threw them away. They didn't have as much sentimental value because, you know, when you're living in that moment, it's just not the same. So you tend to throw away magazines sometimes. So I threw away all those, and then years later I'm like, I'd like to start collecting these again. And, well, now I gotta buy them all over again. But, you know, if I never got beyond this 250, I'd be fine, because a lot of the newer stuff wasn't as interesting as the real old ones. And then down here I got some more guides, playing guides, just information about, there's the SNES Omnibus, Pat Contry's Ultimate Nintendo NES Guide. Let's see, what else? Oh, these pinball compendiums are fantastic. Let me show you one of these. I like these books that cover the history of just about everything, and the pinball compendiums are great. They go up to about, I would say, the Pinball 2000 era. So nothing in the last 20-some years. That's the pinball machine I actually have. The only one I have, and the only one I think I'll ever have, and the only one I'll ever need. Otherwise, I just play them on emulators. But these are fantastic, the stories behind them, and I mean, this is the stuff from the 90s, which was fantastic. But real cool. What else? The bitmap books are really fantastic. I've got a few of these, but this is the newest one, A Guide to Japanese Role-Playing Games, which talks about things that didn't come over here and things that did. So you might see Mario stuff in here. Let me see if I can find anything that well, you get what I'm saying. Lots of stuff that I've never heard of before. So I can't wait to start reading through this more and more. These guys are great too. They give you a full PDF of the book when you order it. It's a little expensive. It's going to be coming out on Amazon Prime in August, they said, so it'll be a little cheaper. This is hilarious too. Video cover art of VHS. This is just fun to flip through. I mean, it is just the craziest stuff. Movies I'll never watch, but I was glad to see these the art cover for some of these, and it was pretty cheap. It was on Amazon. I don't know if it's still cheap on there. You know, it might be out of print, but so it's just, I like having things that I can just sit and read and look through and learn about something old like it's new that I never knew about. So that's really exciting stuff. And then over here, I've got a computer station that I've repurposed. I used this years and years for my computer station, but now I've got a new one. And I just am housing retro stuff on here now, and I've got one TV that I can hook up anything modern to, and I got this one from my mother. She had this long time ago, gave it away to somebody, they stopped using it, gave it back to her, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It fits up in this top corner just perfect. And it's really sharp, it looks super clean. Sorry about the glare, but this looks a lot better when I've got the light on, so you can see everything really good. But this handles anything modern I need, so I've got that going in through component. But I can also I got like you see, I run little HDMIs everywhere so I can plug stuff in. And all these systems here from Hyperkin, they're not perfect, but I can plug in either HDMI or composite. So I can switch them to the one below here or the one above easily. And also, for as far as power, I just use a little battery pack like that. I keep those charged up, and you can see it's running the system, and it'll play it for, I don't know, 20-30 hours. That's what I'm getting out of it. I've gone through whole gameplays on one of these battery charges, so it's really, you know, energy efficient. But I've got a Super Nintendo one, a Genesis version, and that, and then I also got a DVD recorder just in case, like PSP. Little slime guy, I love this guy. He's adorable. I wish he would work on dusting a little more, but you know, what are you gonna do? He's just a little slime. Then I've got these ornaments just to decorate things with. I love this one with Santa. Let me put him up here. This is probably one of my favorites. My favorite ornaments. Just from, I like pinball. 1996. Just perfect. And then I've got my handhelds. All pretty much up here. Game Boy Advance. That's the one my brother found with all those extra games. Look, it's got the cover. That's amazing. Those are always missing. The Game & Watch. Super Mario Brothers. Can't wait for the Zelda one to come out. Game Boy Color. SP. DS. 3DS. New 3DS up here. One of these is the new 3DS. Oh no, maybe I got that. The new 3DS I got out in the living room. And then there's the Wii hooked up through component. Got a little Yoshi up there. That is the for systems that didn't have the reader, this little hockey puck for reading the cards or Amiibos. That would sync up to your DS. Which one of these does it sync up to? Yeah, like this one, it has a little IR reader on the back because it didn't have the built-in RF scanner, RFID, is that what it's called? And I've got my first CRT here. This one is a 19-inch, and it looks fine. I can use this while my wife's in here watching something on the top TV. We got a Roku hooked up there, so she can watch something while I'm playing a game, so we can at least spend some time together if I'm playing through a 30-40 hour game. And just some extra space on here. I'm gonna hook up a computer again eventually in here, which I got hooked up to the TV, but I had one that broke down, so I'm replacing it with another one after servicing that one. I do it all myself. I work in IT, or at least I used to. I've been out of work for just a little bit here, but I'm sure now that the pandemic's over, I'll get some job offers pretty soon. And it's just PC games, old PC games, iCade, plays still pretty good with the new Bluetooth on iPads, but the old iPads kind of have this delay now, so it's not worth it. X-Arcade stick, I just bought the updated board for that, so it'll now use X input and stuff, so you can play Steam games and everything like that. Can't wait till that comes in. I got it on sale. It was $25 the other day, half price, so not too bad. And that thing's gonna be like new again. It works perfect still, except for the fact that, you know, hooking it up to new stuff is a pain. Some plug and plays over here. This is the TV I just replaced with the one I just found. I haven't talked about it yet, but I found one at the transfer station or our local kind of dump, and people are just throwing them away. This one I think I spent 50 bucks on this one. I usually don't spend money on these, but let me get back here a little bit. This one is total HD. It doesn't have HDMI, but it's got component. It does 720p, 1080i, on there, so it's really nice, but it's just a little small. If I'm playing old games and you don't want to be in widescreen on that, obviously, you don't want to stretch it like I'm doing with Newtopia right now, but I could change that. I got a zoom function on there. But if you don't like stretching those games, you want to play them in their original format, this one ends up, you know, you lose about, I don't know, 2/5 of the screen. So it ends up being no bigger than this little 19-inch one over here. So, having said that, that's going to find a new home in the house somewhere. I don't know where yet, but it will. Having said that, here's the new one I just saved. It's a JVC, and it looks incredible. There's a couple little scratches on the front, so once in a while you get a little, if the light catches it just wrong, it looks almost like there's a dollop of, I don't know, like water on the screen. But it's not too annoying for a free 32-inch, pretty high quality looking TV. I don't know if it's flickering on you guys, but it doesn't look that way, obviously, when I'm playing it. But it's pretty gorgeous. And it's just on a little stand here. I've got everything hooked up to it. You know, even GameCube, I've got the GameCube component cables, which look fantastic on a newer TV. But even the composite still looks really good on an older system like this. So that's hooked up to composite. I've got a VCR plugged in here. I started buying some more VCR tapes again because they've been, you know, you can get them for 99 cents sometimes. Sometimes you get them cheaper than that, like $5 for $3. So I was really, well, let me just show you, because honestly, you get a good TV, and I'm just gonna hit play on that. And then I just bought a remote for this. This is the only thing missing. I got it totally for free, this TV, but then I had to buy a remote, which is like $9 on eBay, so not the worst. But, you know, as you can see, I've got to switch everything manually here, which is a pain. Let's go back. So, if you get back, you can see that even old VHS did a pretty good job with the quality. Let me get that stuff off screen, because
why do you keep following me around? George, I'm telling you, George.
But, you know, not too bad. Let me switch that back there so I don't get a strike or anything. There we go. Under here I've got a PS2. I gotta do some dusting under here. I haven't been in here for a few months. Playing hardly. Master System. And TurboGrafx, that's what I just got hooked up to it for now. EverDrive in there so I can play anything. And that's the laptop I just restored to its original discs, which were Vista, so I could play a golf game and get it to emulate properly. Oops, turn that back down a little bit. And here's my 1UP Arcade Mortal Kombat, which is great. I only got one of these because I'm not going to buy like everyone that comes out. It's just ridiculous to go crazy. You know, there might be another one someday that is interesting. I really like those turtle ones and stuff where you got 4 players, but they're so small. I mean, it's not really convenient. The panels are just too small. It's fun, but if you're playing side by side with somebody, you know, it's not that comfortable. But still, it's nice to have one. But I prefer full-size arcade systems. Got a little Raiden there. I got some wrestlers from the past. Piper. I think everyone's dead, except for Hogan. Look at this. I like Macho Man a lot. He was my favorite wrestler. He was the most dynamic. This closet here is going to turn into more storage space. Right now we still got all the books that the kids have. Hiding some stuff up in there. There's a Scooby-Doo tower. Or house, the spooky house in Scooby-Doo. The kids used to play with this stuff. Batman cave. And then just a bunch of books. And other stuff I've tucked in there for now. But I gotta find a location for that. A third of the closet's wasted because they built a closet with the chimney. They could have just framed this out and not had that, but whatever. We'll make use of it. And over here, just some more pictures and stuff. Tinfoil on the antenna makes stations come in better. Right now I'm listening to WBLM. Great Maine rock and roll station. They do A to Z every year. Play tons of music you haven't heard in forever. Those are just some wacky pack things I threw in a poster just because why not? Why waste them? They don't do any good sitting in a drawer somewhere. You can see I don't really have this all fleshed out up here. This is just storage for some crap. I got some tapes up here. There's Bender and Futurama ship. More tapes. Oregon Trail handheld. Got a Coco color computer here. Gotta do more color computer stuff. I don't even know if I've done anything. There's C64 Mini. And then I've just got this storage area that we used to have in the living room, and I just threw it in here to kind of hide a lot of stuff, you know. You got extra accessories. This stuff is just bonus stuff. There's TurboGrafx stuff. Here is GameCube stuff. E-reader. Oh, I found this little card holder, but look, it fits all the e-reader stuff perfectly. Excite Bike, and then there's a couple that came in Nintendo Power that you can do. And that's just a mishmash of stuff. Got the retro, what is that? Retro bit, yeah, that's right. That original retro bit system down in there. I should pull that out, do a little story on that. 164 stuff. Just miscellaneous. There's the controllers for the Gemini, which is really cool because look, they had the knob pads, the spin pads, whatever you want to call them, plus a joystick in there. Just plugged in once and it did it all. There's some GameCube and Wii accessories, Motion Plus, Genesis stuff. Got SNES stuff. There's my multi-tap, the one from Japan for Bomberman. I thought that one was cool, so I got that. Extra controllers. And then just some stuff, you know, video game, DVDs. Oh, look out. ABGN stuff. Triumph of the Nerds is really good. Oh, the BBS documentary. I think that's available on YouTube for free now, so you guys should watch that. That's really cool stuff. Game Center CX. Anyone that hasn't watched Game Center CX should. You can get them online. I bought the DVD set, which is over-narrated, overdubbed by an English, you know, speaking gentleman, and it's fine, but it's not like the original. They take out so much. It's still fun to have. I wanted to support the show because I download them all the time when they're dubbed. Got some DVDs in here. Not DVDs. Well, one DVD, but mostly VHS collections. Oh, I must have, look at that, PSP stuff back there. Just tucked away. I gotta find a place for it. Oh, there's that memory card I was looking for. There's a Slinky. Never had to change the batteries. They don't make things like they used to. And that's about it. I mean, this is just, you know, version 2.0 of this room. I don't know how much more is going to change. Let me do a quick sweep around. Those love letters are the ones that were up there in my daughter's room when she was a little girl. They actually came from my niece. My brother had his daughter when I was only 18, and I didn't have mine till she was full grown, so we recycled those. My mother was still hanging on to them. I need new curtains in here because those are horrible. But I was trying to find something game room appropriate, but I still haven't. And here's the mid-range look. Again, it's only about 10 by 10 square feet in here, so the center area, I probably got about, you know, 5-6 feet of walking room. But, you know, it does the trick. It does the trick. I'm just trying to maximize all the wall space eventually and maximize storage. And that's, you know, all you can ask for out of a game room. Someplace that's nice and cozy. And it's already getting warm in here because I got all this stuff on. These two little CRTs, man, they're just like little furnaces. They use a lot of energy, obviously, compared to like a regular flat screen now. But in the wintertime, it's really nice to play games in here because it keeps the room nice and cozy. So that's about it. And why don't we end it with a little word from Randy Savage himself.
Your man Randy Savage, the madness can't be contained.
There you go. Can't be contained. So I hope you had a fun time looking around. And we'll see if I do an update to this in a year or so once I get some newer storage or, you know, different CRTs. Who knows? Yeah, there we go. See y'all later.